Tankers, welcome back to my videos. I am Blitz, and today we are going over the long-awaited series Worst Replays. Now, these are all going to be my clips, just because I haven't gotten any clips for Worst Replays yet. If you would like to send me your clips, join the Discord in the link below. That is my Discord. Don't forget to subscribe. And let's get started into this first clip. Now, you can see I am running my comp Panzer. And we are already watching an AMX 5120 pretty much just commit suicide. Is he going to die? Yes, he is, and he's down. We are down at tier 9 within the first 30 seconds of this match. That is how bad the team was doing. Our IS-5 watched our AMX 5120 go down there. Now he dies. And if you can see in the top of the chat, our AMX 5120 is yelling at the team for not pushing down there. And I really don't understand what that was. It was just really the worst thing I've ever seen. That shell, unlucky ricochet off the side of his turret. Could have loaded heat, but I don't like to shoot that much heat. WT, boom. One shot to our T-28 prototype because he wasn't looking behind. And now we have this WT. Come on, HE, come on. Yes, we get an okay roll. Really wasn't, though, because that was a fire. Got the Centurion shooting Hesh at me now. That is a big issue for me since he's at full health. WT manages to get a great shell into him though. Come on, are we going to be able to get this? Yes, we are. 501 low roll, but either way, it's enough to kill him with the next shell. Come on, don't pen it. Ah, he penned it. We needed those hit points. We are pretty much screwed now if anything happens to the team. My teammates just killed the Comp Panther on their team, so now it is 3 versus 4, and we just managed to pull around the corner on this map. But just the fact on how bad the team started off, if that AMX and IS-5 had not rushed, we easily would have won. And a little advice, because I do try to give out some advice in this series. When you are on False Creek, do not ever rush into that pit down there. I call it the pit of hell. Don't go into it. It is not a safe place. The issue with it is that tanks that have gun depression can easily shoot you when you're trying to use your gun depression there. Especially an AMX 5120 that has literally 0 turret armor. That is probably the worst possible spot on the map for you. Come on, are we going to pen that? Ah, that should have pens, but it did miss, which pretty much cost us the game there. Not to mention the other shot at the beginning that bounced off the WZ-110's turret. Those two shots pretty much lost us the game. But you can see that guy just manages to get the shell into me. The WZ-110 misses his shot. That means we have a chance if he ricochets the next. Come on, come on. Ricochet, come on, do it. Yes, ricochets the shell. I back up here, I back up, and it just hits him in the gun barrel, which really screws me, and he gets me on the ram. So, that was not the best game. Now, I will say, as always, starting off, I'm going to have a little voting button in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Do click it, tell me which team you thought was the worst. But you can see 3,200 damage is not bad, especially for a higher tier match anyways. 3,000 is a great amount of damage, and when you're able to output 3,000 and hold off the whole heavy flank for the whole game, it kind of questions you how you lost the medium flank and the heavy flank both. Literally, our IS-5 did 0 damage, and our AMX 5120 did 111, and he was yelling at the team for not pushing into the pit with him. The prototype got high explosive in the little butt, and he had that coming to him because he just didn't look behind him. And the top guys in the team really didn't do bad, and this just shows that you can have just 2-3 people to screw up on your team and have the rest do really well and still lose a match. Because their team wasn't spectacular, but you can see their team pulled out an average of about 1,000 damage each, which means that they were able to do okay in the long run. Let's get stuck into that second replay, though. Now, I had just recently picked up the VK16801P, and this was one of my first games in it. I've actually been doing quite bad in this tank. Teams have just been very bad. They die super quickly. For some reason, the VK100P, I just feel, for some reason, I'm doing better statistically in the vehicle, so it doesn't make sense. But I am going to be pushing this vehicle towards the center hill to hold off the heavies to do my job. As a super heavy, I'm here to take the hits, to bounce the shots. That is my job. And as you can see, this is a huge tank. So everything seems fine. We're already down our T-49 because he just really wanted to go up that hill, rammed the LEKPZ, screwed up his shell, and died. Come on, are we going to get the shell? Yes, we are. 465. Pretty nice roll. you can see this gun is a nasty gun, and you're able to output quite a bit of damage with this gun. There's the IS-6 over here, and I'm not super worried about him. I have a feeling I can take him out. My shells do a lot of damage. Boom, 459. We're sitting already at 1,000 damage, and we're down 3 tanks. I don't even know how that's possible. We're down 3 tanks already. I don't even know where they're dying, how they're dying. Pretty much I'm just over here looking at this IS-6, and I noticed, hey, we're down 3 tanks. How does that make sense? And this M6 over here is trying to hold their entire heavy tank push while he just tried to clear 1 tank. And our tank destroyers at the back died from 1 T-23E3. How does that make sense? But that's not for me to worry about, apparently, because that T-23 has now killed pretty much half of our entire team. Just by himself, by flanking, probably distracting. What he did is he probably flanked, he distracted the tank destroyers, and the tank destroyers weren't smart enough to back behind cover. They sat right in the open and let the tanks across the ridge shoot at them. That is most likely how we lost this, but now it's literally a 2 versus 6. Look at this. It is just so embarrassing how bad the team did. I'm over here aiming at this M6. There you go. Game over. It was one of the quickest matches, one of the worst teams I've had in a while. Just absolutely atrocious team. This one, I have a feeling, in my opinion, is going to win the worst team for this episode, but that's up to you guys to decide. Now, I didn't do bad. I did 1,500. That's not a bad. I did my part. Look at the next highest, 720 in the 49. Now, if you recall, that was the first tank that died on our team. So the tank that died by rushing up the hill and getting obliterated first, literally less than 30 seconds into the match, did better than every other player on my team. That was how bad this team was. And that just shows you how bad teams in Blitz can be if you get the wrong lineups. But let's get stuck into that final replay. Now, this final replay, we are on Normandy, and this match actually started off pretty decent, but it went downhill, and it went downhill quick. Now, I am running my German Bulldog, and my friend is running the Mod 1, which is a very strong medium tank, and this is actually a pretty nasty light tank. I actually picked this tank out, dusted it off, because Martin made a video on it saying it's pretty good in raiding battles. Shout out to you, Martin. And I just wanted to test it out, see how I did in it, and it is a pretty good tank. I didn't do any raiding battles with it, but I really do like the tank. It's quick, nimble, and it's got that high explosive plastic shells. Now, you can see I am just going to try and just maybe rush around a bit. I ramped over that rock. Glad I didn't break my track. There wasn't much to do up there. You really can't afford to fight with the big heavies that have gun depression and damage over you. But this KV-5 was distracted. The heat shells on this tank get a very nice amount of penetration. I think this one's 275 with calibrated, 250 normal. And you can see I am just tearing apart this KV-5. 3 shells into him now. This tank also has a very nice damage per minute. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going to guess it's around 2,500. Now, we have a Tiger 1 coming up behind us. Now, I asked my friend, can you come over here and help me? And by the way, we're already down our first tank, the FV4201. But that is fine, because we are over here. We're going to easily take out this Tiger by pushing together. I'm going to load in a high explosive plastic. As you can see, amazing penetration right through the rear of that Tiger P. Are we going to get another one in? Come on, come on. Yes, we are. 325 Tiger bounces the Mod 1 with that excellent armor. And now we look like we're doing pretty well. The team has lowered a lot of their tanks to low hit points. They just cleared one, the ISU, a very deadly tank destroyer. I see my Smasher over here. I'm like, okay, that Smasher's lowered that KV-5 a bunch of hit points. However, I didn't realize that I had shot the KV-5 a bunch, and the Smasher had done 52 damage this match. And now we have just lost one of our big heavies. We lost our second tank, and now it is not looking like a victory anymore. I still thought there was some hope left. I got stuck on this rock here trying to back up, which really sucks. We're going to be able to snap another shell into this guy. Come on, yes we are. He gets finished off by the T-34 that comes up behind us. I'm going to load a high explosive. Come on, I want to get that J-Panther. Are we going to get him? Yes we are. And that was the end of my battle. And we have one guy left as the SU, who is on the other side of the map for some reason. He isn't a tank destroyer, which I do support as a sniping tank, but the spot he was at is absolutely worthless for trying to get shots off, and you will see that it is worthless later on in the match. Now, what the team should have done here is they should have held the middle. We had the T-34, I mean not the T-34, we had the KV-5 held, we had the Tiger held, we would have flanked up behind that Yag Panther. The Tiger we killed, I'm not sure how the team did so bad, judging that all they had up on the top of the hill, as you can see, was an SPIC, a 34 Falcon, and a T-44, versus our T-34, FV-4-201. We had an AMX 1390, the SU was trying to snipe over there. I'm not sure really how we lost this push, and that just makes me wonder. I'm not sure what this SU is doing right now, to be honest. He's just trying to have a little fun, I guess. But this SU probably knows that he's going to lose this match. He has really no chance of winning it. And it's just kind of sad that you can lose matches like this that easily in Blitz nowadays. This SU did get a nice shot into that KV-5, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to save him. You'll have to find out, though. But yeah, as I was saying, it's kind of just sad how you can get teams like this in Blitz. Now, these games were pretty rare, but I played probably about 10 of those VK168 games that were just completely terrible. The teams just would die so quickly. And the issue is you can't run slow tanks anymore. They're so slow, like a T95 or a prototype. They're so slow that if your team just has two bad top tier players, or two players that don't know what they're doing, new to the game, and they're new premiums that their parents bought them, the issue is that they're going to die, and you can't go over there to support them with your strong, heavily armored vehicle because they're dead, and they don't wait for the big heavies, or they don't push with the heavies. You ever get those matches where you run a big super heavy and the team goes the other way and just ditches you and leaves you to die? That's another example. And there's just a lot of games like that. You can see we did 2,500 damage. By no means that's bad. My friend did 1,500. That's pretty good. That's acceptable. And then the AMX 1390 did 900. And SU did 600. And the Smasher did 53. The Smasher has 250 mil of heat pen, which can easily penetrate a KV-5. That Smasher could have easily done his job there. The 34 had the best map in the game, easily on Normandy. Push up to that spot, use his turret armor, gun depression, snipe those guys the hell out of their positions, and he did 637 damage. Which is kind of sad that our team was just that bad. Their team did not do bad. You can see only one guy did below 1,000 damage. Even the Tiger that died terribly at the beginning still did better than pretty much everybody on the team. Yeah, pretty much everybody but the top two on our team. It's just kind of sad the day Blitz has become for certain tiers. Now, again, if you did like this series, please let me know if you'd like to see something more like this, if you'd like me to change the style or the tone I do it in. Again, make sure to vote which team you think was the worst at the top. I still think it was the second team, but I want to see what you guys think. And make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.